Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Guild Wars 2 Pro League for North America. I'm Joe Storm Noah, and back alongside me for Week 2's action is Christian Hirix Thomaser. We do have game number 1 in this best of 3 series starting up on the Temple of the Silent Storm. Let's take a look at some opening splits for both of these squads, see who's going to be coming out on top. Temple, we'd said it before, a lot of teams probably one of their least practiced maps, so this is going to be very interesting. We do have Edison heading to the altar. No one immediately going to the Temple for the red team. Looks like they decided to stealth up, but a crosser right away coming out there from Muffins.
Yeah, definitely a pretty interesting stealth up there. We had Paul coming out with the smoke scale and went for a big blast there and got across the map pretty easily, but Muffins is going to be rolling into this 1v1 with Edison. That will take a little bit of time, but nonetheless, we are going to be seeing a free cap coming from Paul there. They're going to be getting the Temple pretty easily, and they're going to be able to get back into this mid-fight, but we'll have to see what happens as Java has already gone down to about half HP, and Edmonton actually fallen pretty quickly himself.
Well, given the fact that the blue team had the 4v3 for just a moment at the midpoint because Paul decided to get that Temple node, they had kind of that upper hand, but the Mo actually coming out there from Nero onto Java. Java is under a lot of pressure here, needs to be careful, needs his team support. He might be taken into downstate, running around with a lot of condies. He will be taken down there. I really like that play coming out there from Nero, and they should be able to get the res back onto him, but Zeus and Paul taking a lot of damage in the process.
Yeah, and then look across the board for blue team. I mean, looking really good. They got 2 guys down once again here, Paul and
portal.
Zeus.
There was a portal.
Down.
Big portal actually coming out there from Muffins. He went back to that mid node, dropped it for him, and then came back to the altar and decided to drop it again, obviously, to get them out of there. I like that move, but blue team, I feel, coming out on top regardless.
Yeah, for sure, and we are going to be seeing them hold on to that midpoint. We are going to be seeing them actually get that decap over on the Temple and go for the full cap as well. So blue team already looking pretty strong.
There's a 2 cap going to be coming out for them. They do have the respawn. Zeus he looks like he is going to go for Edmonton. Another portal back to the mid node from Nero. Edmonton didn't get the full cap, still took away. I really feel like he should have went for that before he got in the fight with Zeus. He might be able to get a knockback with the glint, and it looks like he's going to try for it, able to block it. We'll have to see. Zeus is going to be able to get out of this one a victory, but it looks like some help coming out there from Nero. The cap will connect there, and blue will start to build a slight lead here.
In the meantime, it's Edison trying to hold on at this midpoint. He has Nero now helping him out, and we also see Zor and Oegs coming through as well. And it looks like they're going to be trying to take down K-Pod, who's already at half HP. But
so Edmonton with the 1v1 against Zeus, and I really feel like that's kind of a toss-up matchup, to be honest. It really depends how experienced the engineer is at dealing with that like precision strike and unrelenting assault with against the Revenants, because I feel like Engineer can deal with it, but Zeus, like we said earlier, doesn't have a whole lot of experience on it, so he might kind of not be too great in that matchup.
Yeah, Nero actually wandered into this team fight, was trying to help out his teammate, and it just, with that build, it's not really enough, at least in my opinion, to be doing a whole lot other than, maybe throwing in that MOA, putting down some good pressure, and then kind of coming out of that. I mean, the way he's set up, he needs to be taking 1v1s, but nonetheless, they're doing a good job across the map, so it's not that big of a problem for them. Oegs is getting pretty close to going down, though. Edison not looking good either, and it looks like they might actually be wiping here, and red team might actually have a chance to come back.
It's definitely possible. Edison looked to move back into that one. Knows he's very low. He's going to get stunned out there by Zeus, but should be okay to get out of this fight. Now we see a good rotation from Edmonton. He knew his team was coming back through to the altar node, was going to notice that someone was coming over to the Temple, going to be in a 1v1 with K, but I'm interested to see how this is going. Edmonton's definitely had a lot more practice as of late, getting better at that Revenant, but K-Pud, as we know, is very skilled at this class. This is going to be a real toss-up if you ask me. Oh, huge surge in misconnecting from Edmonton. He's going to take down K-Pud. It looks like he'll pick up the decap, but even so, that's a pretty big win there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's going to be able to get that Temple back. They've actually done quite well over on Temple, and I mean, we have to remember Zeus actually fell as well just a couple of minutes ago, and now it's going to be kind of another 1v1 between Edmonton and Java, and that's going to be a rough one for Edmonton for sure, as he's already down cooldowns after taking K-Pud down, so they're going to need a rotation pretty quick here. K-Pud coming off of respawn, going to be able to rotate into that rather quickly. It looks like he is going to opt to do that, and then to take him out 2v1 pretty easily, pretty quickly as well.
Zor is moving in here, but knows that it's not going to be going well for his team. Still have stillness buff up, been up for about 40 seconds now, no one managing to get a cap, but we will see PZ pick up a 2 cap for themselves. They are down about 80 points here, so they should be able to slightly, get some of that lead back into their favor now, but easy peasy. Needless to say, they have really impressed me at the start of this game.
One thing that I have grown curious about with Easy Peasy is their ability to kind of play under the stress of being down a guy. And with Edmonton down right now, we'll have to see how they rotate, because, I mean, that's been a big problem for them. They actually have done quite well here, bringing Paul down already here, and they're going to drop a ton of damage on that body as well, trying to secure that kill. And they actually do manage to get the stomp off Zor, getting the connection there, and they're going to be able to get Zeus down in the process as well. So, I mean, I guess we have our answer, doing quite well under pressure.
Even so, Muffins off respawn is going to pick up the cap because of the lack of rotation, and they were coming out there from easy peasy. They're still going to be 2 capped after this, just because of the fact Muffins came off a respawn. No one really accounted for him, and he is going to be able to get that free cap for themselves. And still, no progress being made over here at the mid buff. Now we do see Edmonton look for the Temple decap, should be able to pick it up for themselves, but still, this is anybody's game at this point. 5.5 minutes into this one.
Yeah, it's definitely anybody's game, but with the way that Easy Peasy has been playing, the way that they've been rotating into this Druid Paul here, I mean, they've been playing really well. I would have to say at this point that they are definitely the team to take this at this point. So,
taking a look at mid, a lot of pressure coming out onto Nero here. Needs to be careful, doesn't have a whole lot of cooldowns available to him. As we do see K-Pud taking a lot of pressure. Look at the Condi sticking on K-Pud here. He needs to be careful. He might be taken down now. Is able to get that glint heal off. Should be okay. Nero now under a whole lot of pressure as well. He might be taken down. Things not going too well here for Easy Peasy at the midpoint, because Nero outside of this Blurred Frenzy. A huge surge and miss coming out there from K-Pud. They should be able to pick up the kill here and claim the node for themselves.
Yeah, and Zeus actually was pushed off of that temple yet again here by Edmonton. So Zeus has actually kind of yet to find a groove here for himself playing on this new class. Java getting really low as well against Edison. So across the board, I mean, Easy Peasy has been doing quite well in these 1v1 matchups.
And now K-Pud's taken down. Zor coming in for the stomp. The search and rescue from about 2 feet away there. He just needed to get the res. He got him up. It counted, but K-Pud's back in the down state once again. Paul used a lot of cooldowns there. And look at the health pulls across the board here for Team PC. They're not looking good. Paul gets a nice heal off there. Coming out from his Celestial Avatar. Gets K-Pud back up into the fight now. We do have Stillness buff up and Tranquility once again. Nobody is at the bottom buff for Tranquility. And I'm very surprised, given the fact 15 seconds in, nobody's even made an attempt to go for it.
Yeah, the interesting thing there was, I mean, they had a great opportunity to get a double kill, and they pulled away, actually, Ostrich staying in a little bit too long, not getting enough heals there, or support rather, from Zor, and because of that kind of poor positioning on the part of Ostrich Eggs, he's going to be dropping here, and Red Team going to be pulling away with this gate cap. Nonetheless, we are going to be seeing actually the first move towards that bottom buff, K-Pud and Edison, and a little bit of a 1v1 here. We might actually see the addition of another guy pretty soon, but for now, it is going to be that 1v1. So far, Edison has done quite well in these.
Oh, Edison, Elixir S going to pop from the traits there. K-Pud might be able to take him out here. He has his heal.
Oh, that was a good dodge there.
Yeah, and oh man, looks like the glint heal going to come up there for K-Pud, and he might be okay. This is going to be hard for Edison. We'll have to see if he's able to use that terrain to keep himself alive. Quick as auto attacks. Getting help from Zor though. Let's take a quick peek at Edmonton though. He's in a lot of pressure here against Muffins. Has his glint heal, but outside of this, he might be taken down. Muffins looking fairly healthy, so he might be able to take back this home node for themselves.
Yeah, Edmonton probably be able to pull away with this one for sure. I mean,
it's a really rough fight.
Yeah, absolutely a hard fight. Definitely should go in favor of Muffins. But Edmonton doing a good job of making sure that he holds on as long as possible. He is going to fall probably right now, though, with the Connie's taking on him. He does indeed on the point, so Muffins is going to be forced to just kind of wait around for him. Or rather stomp him, because that is in favor of Temple right now. So it's just going to waste a little bit more time from him. Muffin's going to get that decap, probably get the full cap as well. And meanwhile, this bottom fight looks like OEG is getting kind of trained around here by Zeus.
I mean, take a look at what we've got here. K-Pud's actually leaving this fight. Going to leave Zeus and Paul in this one. It is a 2v2. Was a 3v2. K-Pud's leaving that one. We're going to see a 2-cap come out here from Team PZ, and they're going to get back into this game because of it. Blue's got nothing around the map. They're scattered all over. Really haven't been able to get anything. Edmonton getting hit by K-Pud right off respawn. We saw Edmonton take this fight earlier because he landed a massive surge in the mist. And we'll have to see if he's able to do the same here. I love the Revenant versus Revenant battles. It's down to who lands their burst and who hits it hard. Oh. He lands it again, but not able to take him out this time. Still, a lot of damage coming out there from Edmonton.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if he landed that knockback, that would have been perfect setup. Just getting ready to, land some more burst. And this is actually a great opportunity for him to get that precision strike. Lands it and gets the kill there. Edmonton pulling away with another one.
Now taking a look at the midpoint, though, also kills onto both Paul and Java here. Paul is actually back up into the fight. He was very low. Actually, he didn't die. He was just extremely low. I thought he had gone down there. But Java's back up into the fight now. PZ, the Reses are saving their lives. The stillness buff is going in favor of Easy Peasy, but they've got nothing to account for it. They don't have any points in their favor whatsoever, so really not able to take advantage of it.
I mean, a lot of the times we're seeing Ostridex pulling into these fights. Java does the same thing. Both of these Necros from both teams just very, very melee-centric, jumping in on the point, just kind of sitting around. And, I mean, they really need to be careful in these fights because if they get Condi bombed, even by each other, they're going to be going down, and it's going to be setting up situations for that their teams do not want to be in at all, trying to res them up, and Ostridex is going to fall there. Just happened to be the one that took the most damage, but both of these Necros need to be pulling away a little bit, in my opinion.
It's pretty good that for the Easy Peasy that Edmonton was able to pick up the cap the altar. Now they can get the 2 points per tick compared to the 1 from Easy Peasy. And, oh man, attempted a MOA, I believe, coming out there from Muffins will get negated with that unrelenting assault due to that continuum split. Really not able to do a whole lot with it because of that. And there's the 2 cap coming out there from Team PZ, who are going to take the lead here, get the stomp onto Zor, and they will start to move ahead for their first lead of the game.
Yeah, Edmonton playing this actually pretty well, but K-Pud's going to come in and they're going to just destroy him yet again with that 2v1. Muffin's going to go ahead and get the stomp and get the cap again. So pretty much a repeat performance from what we saw about 6 minutes ago or something like that from Temple. So they're going to be able to pull that kill out, get another kill off on Nero over at the crossroads between Gate and Alter. And now they're going to be looking 5v3, already looking good with the 2 cap, already have a 40-point lead, 50-point lead now actually, with the 6 cap. They're just pumping away points right now.
Yeah, this might not go in favor of PZ. PZ looked, or excuse me, Easy Peasy looked so strong all early game long. Even mid-game, they did an excellent job. Couldn't ask for a better opener on their side. And Team PZ just coming back when it mattered, able to utilize that stillness buff, out-rotated Easy Peasy by far, and won the fights when it counted, and they will be coming away with a game number 1 victory here on Temple.
Obviously, the biggest thing is pulling away with that 6 cap. I mean, just solidified the victory that they were probably going to get no matter what, but certainly sticking that last nail in the coffin, I have to say.
Game number 2 on the Forest of Niflhel. About to start up here, looking at the opening splits. Muffins will be the only one to cross. Kind of surprised that Nero isn't going to be going for that. Let's go ahead and take a look at what Muffins is going to be getting himself into. He's going to be stealthed up here for a moment, waiting for the rest of the blue team to move on through and move to the mid node where they will have the upper hand. This will be a 4v3 in the blue team's favor, just as it was in the last game. We'll have to see if they're able to capitalize on it.
Looks like K-Pud already coming through and just tearing everybody apart. Just kind of looks like he's just trying to put down a ton of damage. And Java actually taking a lot of pressure already. Nero all over him. It looks like he's going to be trying for the MOA and gets it as well. That's definitely going to be a secured kill, but are they going to be able to pull out? Oh, they are not going to be able to get it there. Paul going to be coming through with the search and rescue, but so that's it. That is on cooldown now. They might be able to pull out another kill in just a couple of moments, but Edmonton actually getting extremely low here. Going to get the full heal actually from the glint heal.
We actually saw a portal come out there as Muffins went for the portal, then left it there and went to the mid node rather, and it looks like blue team is able to hold off here and make their way back to the mid node. We're tied up game. Osterjake's actually very low here, has full Reaper Shroud. Have to see if he's able to get it off in time. He should be able to. There's the MOA onto him coming out there from Muffins right out of that continuum split. Was prepared for it 100%. Wasn't able to dodge that one. Oegs, though, getting a lot of support here from Zor. A lot of CC coming out there. He should be okay for the time being. And we're going to see a full-fledged 5v5.
Yeah, and Zeus under a lot of heat. Same as Java, who actually got trained all the way from Henge. Goes down here. Team looking like they're trying to get him back up. There's a lot of pressure on the body. They still managed to get him back into the fight. And it's Oegs now who needs a little bit of help. Does manage to get his heal off, but right after gets a ton of Condis on him. Does have that Reaper Shroud in a couple of seconds here, and he does go into it, so he's going to be okay for a little while. But both teams just completely just going at each other, cutthroat right now.
Muffins peeling out of this fight. Java taken into the down state here. I don't know if they're going to be able to get him back up. The stomp coming out there from Zor is going to connect. Regardless, Muffins should be able to pick up a decap over at the Temple node. Or rather, over at the Henge node, rather. And Zeus now moving out. They're going to split to the side nodes. I really like that rotation by them. Paul just going to be left in a 1v1 with Zor. A bit of an over-rotation, I think, coming out there from blue team. They could have definitely dealt with him, but they just went all out there for Zeus, able to take him down. And now we're going to be on the hunt for K-Pud, who gets hit with another big burst coming out there from Edmonton. Man, he is on par with those today and doing his team a solid there.
Looks like blue team actually doing quite a good job getting close. All they need to do is get some good CC on Paul, and they're going to be able to get this kill, but it looks like they're going to be leaving him to 1v1, but Muffin's going to be coming in to add to this one, and Java's in the area as well, so Nero's not in a good spot at all here, as he's down to about 40% HP, doesn't have his heal up as well, but going to be able to get a pretty good heal there from, I believe, Zor. Still, though, a lot of cooldowns, and actually in the Moa now as well.
Yeah, good Moa coming out there from Muffins. Waited a while out of that continuum split, had the time to do it. Is going to follow up, trying to stay on top of Nero. Nero should be okay. Should be able to get out of that one.
I'm not really sure about that Moa. I mean, Muffins definitely wanted to use a Moa at that point to release some pressure off of Java, but I don't think that was the right person. I think someone else would have been a little bit better and maybe saving it for Zor or something like that, because Zor's going to be able to get a lot of the heals and keep his team in the fight, whereas, you know, it's just kind of some latent pressure from
It might have been a last-ditch effort to get the Moa off. He was already in continuum split. It was about to expire. He knew he needed to get, make use of that continuum split, so perhaps that wasn't the greatest position, but Java is going to be taken down there by Edmondson, eliminating him, and 2-cap from Easy Peasy going to start to push them back in the lead. I don't know if they do get him back up, but look at the health pools coming out here for Team PZ. They're under a lot of pressure right now compared to Easy Peasy. Muffins under a lot of pressure, is able to keep himself alive. He is out over at the beach. Nero looking for a decap. We might finally see a 1v1 between the Mesmers here, but still a huge skirmish going on in the roads.
Something that was kind of interesting was that Muffins just let him decap. I think that's his portal on the point right now on Hinge. I mean, he's standing on it. It was already
Nero.
there.
I believe it's Nero's. That is Nero's. And Nero's going to push for the 1v1. I really want to see how this 1v1 turns out for these teams. But meanwhile, Zor was taken down. Edmondson going in for the res, is able to get him with that function gyro. Mid was decapped in the process, but still, I'm so curious to see how this 1v1 between these Mesmers. There's a continuum split coming out from Muffins. Is he able to land the Moa? It doesn't look like he does. And just now Zeus is going to plus
3
in
seconds
here.
away from Nero's coming up there as well, and his is ready now. And it's going to be OX coming in as well. So Zeus and OX both going to be plussing this, and it looks like blue team's going to be looking for Zeus, whereas
he does land the Moa.
It. Yep.
Zeus, have to see if he's able to keep himself alive here. A lot of Condi sticking on him. He should be okay outside of that. He's going to get his heal off. Is going to be fine, even with Osterjakes trailing him. Nero, though, under a lot of pressure now, is going to Moa Zeus again. Last-ditch effort. That's a risky second Moa.
Yeah,
you really can't afford to use that one unless it's like game-changing 100%. He is going to be taken down regardless. Meanwhile, Java's taken down around the map.
He does get the rally, though, from that kill, so he's back up.
Yeah, and Java's back up in the fight. Man, we've just got all these skirmishes all over the map right now. Both teams really kind of picking and choosing which fights they want to take, and ultimately, Easy Peasy still out on top.
Looks like Muffin's going to be rolling back into this, a little bit of like a 1v2 here, and he's going to be down some cooldowns now, so it looks like Nero might actually be able to finish him off in just a moment here. Chaos Storm goes down. Going to put a couple of Condis on him. Might be enough, maybe, unless he gets his heal off. He does manage to do that, but still, Nero just all over it. Looks like Chieftain's going to add to this one as well.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Chieftain's going to come out on the top here. Oh, Chieftain takes down Nero.
5K with the axe, man. That's just unfortunate, man. That's just unfortunate.
But OX is coming in. If OX is able to get the kill onto Chieftain, no. Muffins is going to look for it. Muffins is super low. Muffins actually might fall down here. Muffins is now dead.
Double kill for Chieftain!
Yeah, Chieftain with the 1v2. And Osterjakes going to come in and probably claim the 25 points. Oh man, that's rough. That's really rough for these teams here.
Yeah, Ostrich definitely needs to make sure that he gets that player kill before Chieftain goes down. So he's going to secure that one and finish off Chieftain before Chieftain starts bloodlusting.
A little bit. I actually had a game the other day where a person in downstate took the kill onto Chieftain. So as you mentioned, yeah, you got to make sure you get rid of that downstate body. But OX able to pick up that kill, get that cap, or hold on to it over at the Henchno. But mine going in favor of Team PZ here.
Yeah, and Java's just putting in work on Zor here, who is going to fall. Java's just going to probably leave him to bleed, but certainly wants to be careful, make sure he doesn't get too far away as, it looks like Zor is just going to go a little bit toward, if I was him, I would have tried to get a little bit towards the point. That way, if they're trying to leave you, you can just, make it towards the point. But nonetheless, Svanir is going to be probably taken down here by Java pretty easily, so they're going to pick up more points from that.
I wonder if Zor's able to use his illusionary defender, maybe in the or excuse me, sorry, he's not on the Mesmer. I'm always expecting Zor to be on the Mesmer. He's on the Elemental, so I was wondering if he could actually get over there and potentially get the kill, but in the downstate, but not going to be the case for him.
Nero just, doing everything he possibly could to try to stay alive. Went through the portal. Zeus was waiting for him. Went back through, and K-Pud was just sitting there as well. Took Nero out pretty easily, and now they're looking to probably take out Edmonton as well. But he's just going to go towards Beach. He's got Zor going to cut him off as well, get some support to his teammates, so they're going to be able to peel those guys off and potentially turn on K-Pud here, who is definitely a little bit overextended perhaps, although Edmonton's still taking too much pressure to really kind of turn around and put down some good counter pressure.
One thing to note about this game compared to the last, this one is really relying on a lot of these off-node skirmishes compared to the last game. It was a lot of team fights on the point, on the objectives, and here it's just multiple team fights, 2, 3, 4 of them all around the map, and not even close to the nodes for that matter.
Yeah, they definitely focused on that a lot, and PZ is actually a team that I'm kind of curious as to why they're doing that. I mean, they're kind of always catering to, doing the team fights, but of course, having the Druid on your roster like that, you definitely want to kind of play like this, so it makes sense for them to try to switch their playstyle, but certainly it's showing to be something that they're a little bit less comfortable than, or comfortable with doing than what they've done in the past.
Edmonton finishing off Zeus there, as we will see Blue continue to hold on to that mid node and potentially look for a cap over at the mine point. Meanwhile, Henge, we saw the MOA onto Ostrich Eggs from Muffins here. They're going to have K-Pod Plus and might be able to take him out here. Is going to be able to seal the job and take him into the downstate. I don't think Zor is going to be able to get that one back up. And as 3 members of Team PZ sitting over here, but still 2 cap coming out there as Java was taken down in a 1v2 over at his home node. And this is really looking bad here for Team PZ.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing Nero pick that point up, so that is that 2 cap that you were just talking about, and he's going to be able to finish Java out for sure. Zeus looking like he's trying to make a move over there, and it looks like they might actually try to go for that res. Edmonton going to join in, though, try to put some damage down. Java doesn't look like he's going to make it up this time around, but he does actually get the search and rescue, so he is going to be okay, and it's actually Nero who's going to be going down and probably dying out. So great move there from PZ, turning that one back around and putting down some counter pressure on Nero, taking him out in the process.
And Zeus, I mean, the Mo already went on to Zeus, and Zeus, they didn't really do a whole lot with it. Now the Elixir X coming out there from Edison, who's back on top of Zeus. Zeus, primary target coming out here for easy peasy, but they will be looking to take it to them over here at the mine node. We did see Paul peel out, going towards mid, should be able to pick a decap over at the keep, but 100 points away from victory for easy peasy. Team PZ's got to get something going in their favor now before it's too late.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting down to the wire here for sure. Java looks like he's kind of getting a little bit pressured, but certainly not as much as Edmonton is, as he's at about 10% HP, has nothing left at his disposal, and he's going to be going down. Nothing for Zord, basically just didn't have anything for him at that point, and Zor actually is probably going to be taken down as well. So PZ kind of surging back a little bit here, certainly has a shot, but again, that 1v1 between the Mesmers, Muffins and Nero here going on over at Henge.
Yeah, this could be a long fight, so we'll take a look at what's going on at the mid mode with Ostrich Eggs taking a lot of pressure, has full Reaper Shroud, is going to get interrupted, not able to get his Chill to the Bone out there, but should be okay. Oh no, he doesn't go into Shroud there. That's going to be detrimental to them getting back, or holding on to this lead, because if they're able to pick up a kill with K-Pud here, this could be a potential, really good move coming out there. 2-3 members almost off the board here for Easy Peasy, who, I don't know, this could be a comeback situation for Team PZ if they're able to keep this up.
Yeah, Edison getting kind of low here, though, is in that Rampage, but, I mean, I don't know if that was the best time to do that. Precision Strike is going to finish the job there. Edison going to be falling, and now they're going to leave him to bleed for sure. 2 cap in favor of PZ. Muffins is in downstate over at this Henge. Easy Peasy definitely going to be pulling away with that kill, unless we see potentially Paul make his move, but it doesn't look like that's even going to be close to happening.
Team PZ doesn't have to deal with this. They don't need to. Both Spawnier and Chieftain are up. They don't need to be over here. I don't like the fact that Zeus felt the need to come over here along with K-Pud. They're both going to end up dying in this situation unless massive support comes out here from Paul, who's not even close to the fight. Java knows he needs to get out of this fight. This is not a situation I really like. I didn't like that move by Team PZ. They had a 2 cap. They're able to get back into the game with just that alone.
Yeah, that's the kind of move you do not want to see from a team that made it to the season finals last season. Like that is stuff that you really need to kind of stay away from. And K-Pud going to be falling because of that. It's basically a pretty poor
and they lost
stake.
mid in the process. It's exactly, they could have came back into the game holding just those 2 nodes, looked for a potential Swanee or Chieftain kill after a single team fight, and now that they've lost mid, it definitely might go in favor of Easy Peasy now, especially with Ostrich Eggs not even being contested here on Chieftain. Zeus is coming in. If he's able to get it here, throws down the Thunderclap. Does he get it? He picks up the kill, still holding on to a 2 cap now as they are able to get the keep back, and they might be able to get back into this game now because things could potentially go back in their favor here.
Looks like blue team's going to be pulling off over towards the east side of the map over at Mine, but we are going to be seeing a 1v1 between Muffins and O-Eggs already here.
Oh, Nero. I really thought he was looking for the spawn here. Potentially doesn't want to risk it, though. And 1v1s, three 1v1s around the map right now.
It would have been really interesting to see if he would just put a portal down and then just kind of try to take a fight at mid and then just kind of get to the point where it's about 475 and just portal his whole team over there. It would have been so interesting to see something like that.
Muffins picking up a kill onto Ostrich Eggs. We are going to see the push to spawn here from Nero and Edison. Java is all over Edison. Edison does have that Elixir X, uses it at 10,000 health. This is going to be, more, Easy Peasy will still have to do something more, even if they pick up this kill. But if Easy gets it, they will be taking the game. No, it does go to Easy Peasy, and I take that back. They will be taking this game number 2.
I don't know about that, though. I mean, that was extremely close. I don't think that they should have bet on that. I mean, certainly Java could have turned around, and we've seen Java take some interesting bosses.
A game number 3 underway here on the Legacy of the Faux-Fire. Let's see who's going to be taking our first set of the day between Easy Peasy and Team PZ. Opening splits. Looks like we are going to have Muffins head over to the quarry. Edison going to the waterfall for himself. I'm expecting a 3-0 push from Nero over to the quarry. He is going to match Muffins in that 1v1 that we kind of like to see. Now some stealth play coming out here. Let's go ahead back over to the map as we do have a big push coming out here from the blue team, or red team rather, towards the waterfall.
Yeah, a little bit of a stealth play here. Java going to be coming out of it. K-Pud actually being really aggressive here over at, we're going to be seeing actually Edison just getting Connie bombed completely, already at 50% right now. Does have the bulwark up, is going to get some decent heals there from Zor, so Zor's coming through and doing his job quite well. K-Pud nonetheless going to be putting down a ton of pressure still, and Edison needs to make sure, he does get that Moa off from the Elixir X, and does as well get the Rampage. This is going to be huge for them, just depleting that Reaper Shroud from Java, who now has nothing left other than that Chill to the Bone there, and of course his Plague Stain to get out of that, but Edison coming away with 10% HP and forced Elixir S now. He's definitely going to be falling for sure.
Oh, he might be. Gets his heal off, though. Zeus is taking down at the mid note as well, so he's still going to be hanging on here.
Paul not looking good either.
Yeah, Paul, this fight could definitely go in favor of Easy Peasy. That Mesmer 1v1 looks to be going in favor of Nero. 100% HP compared to Muffins. Let's take a quick look at this. Muffins doesn't have a whole lot left. Has that Moa Continuum Split if he wants to use it. Nero, on the other hand, has already used it. Maybe that's why he has the upper hand here, but we'll have to see if that's going to be the case. There, no, Muffins is actually going to head out of that one. Used his Moa without Continuum Split. That is, oh man, that's a long cooldown. That's not very good for him.
That is a big misplay there from Muffins, who's actually even kind of forced into the base just to get out of combat. But yeah, that Signet being down with Moa, I mean, that is not good for them, of course. No points right now, already not looking good for him. Looks like he's going to be making the portal play, and Nero's going to be doing just the same just to prevent that decap. So yet another 1v1 here between these two guys. But we have to remember, no Moa for 140 seconds left, plus Alacrity.
And I think a lot of this, the rest of the game really comes down to this fight going on over at the waterfall right here. I mean, a 50.2 lead right here for Easy Peasy at the start of the game. 3 games in a row now, they've started out on fire. Will Team PZ be able to bring the game back in their favor as they had in the last 2 games here? I'm not so sure. I mean, Lord is definitely a big play in this game, and they do have the portal, so we'll have to see if it does come down to that. But K-Pud under a lot of pressure here.
There's the Moa on Muffins. Nero going to be pushing him off and securing that, but yeah. Ostrich Egg is going to be taken out. Paul actually going to be securing that one for sure.
Oh, this could be a huge wipe. Edmonton is under a lot of pressure here. K-Pud might be able to take that. Doesn't land the Surge of the Mist there, as Edmonton's able to keep himself alive. Has his Glint heal up in a couple seconds. He should be okay now and keep himself in this fight, as we will see the first 5 points go in favor of Team PZ there, as they might be able to pick up another 5 points as well. The Moa coming out there onto K-Pud. Have to see if he's able to pick up the kill.
This will not be enough there. Edmonton surely going to be falling here. And that is going to be the case, as Edison took a little bit too much damage as well, and Edison actually might fall. But he does manage to get his heal off. I'm just not sure that it's going to be enough for them. Zord was able to get a pretty hefty heal on him, and K-Pud actually taking a lot of pressure as well. If they can get down some good damage on K-Pud, push him off, and then focus the pressure back they might be able to turn this one back around, as Edison is doing pretty well at staying alive with the help of Zor and his heals. A lot of good support. Bulwark coming out as well. His healing turret's going to be off cooldown. He's going to get it as well.
I'm taking a look at Muffins, who was taken out by Nero. Paul coming in with the search and rescue, rezzing him back up, making that a 2v2, but still back over there at the waterfall. K-Pud was taken into the downstate. Doesn't look like that res is going to come out. No, they're still going in for the stomp. Going to connect for Easy Peasy. We're able to pick up that one. Still, mid is in favor of Team PZ, who really need to get something going here. Down just under 100 points. Not a great way to start the game, but they've started to rev up their engines here.
Yeah, and Zeus is going to be left to 1v1 versus Edison here, and we have seen Edison do quite well actually so far in the 1v1s, whereas Zeus has not really, I mean, so far at this point. But looking over at the midpoint, we are seeing actually Java getting down to about 60%, is getting some heals there from his teammate Paul, who's now getting trained. Zor actually going to be taken pretty low, but I mean, for the most part, both of these teams have really good job at just kind of getting a lot of damage in all at once, focusing guys down. I mean, looking at Edmonton right now, getting kind of low, already at 50%, but Zor doing a good job yet again. These supports from both teams doing a great job keeping their teammates alive, just so that they don't have to be in the really bad state of, you know, kneeling down and trying to go for a res. Never want to be in that position with all the damage that's in this this meta right now.
A lot of damage. Edmonton finally taken into the downstate. Are they able to seal the deal here? Soldiers in the Mist trying to get anyone off who was going for that res from K-Pud. And they will pick up a kill. Now having the numbers advantage, we are going to see Ostrich Eggs move towards that mid node, holding on to Quarry still, and a huge team fight about to emerge once again over at the waterfall.
I mean, think about it though. We're already about 5 minutes into this match, right? And we're only seeing 167 points on the side of Easy Peasy. I mean, this has been an absolute brawl across the board here. We haven't seen Muffins really kind of come into what we expected to see, I think, throughout all of these matches, but nonetheless, Edison and Zor are both going to be taken down here, and that is going to be with the assistance of Muffins here. But Paul actually getting kind of low as well. Looks like they are going to be able to get Zor back up because of that portal. Ostrich Egg's kind of low, though. It looks like we're going to be seeing Paul. They're trying to get him back up, but tons of damage going back on top of that. K-Pud getting extremely low as well, going with the Surge, the miss. Big heals coming out for Easy Peasy, though.
I mentioned earlier the plays would have to come out from Nero and Muffins if they wanted to make a major impact on the game. Nero did just that, able to get his team back up into the fight, now taking multiple members down low. Edmonton almost taking down K-Pud. K-Pud able to get that glint heal off, going for the fight once again against Edmonton. Uses his Unrelenting Assault, even though he did have that glint heal ticking for him, so he didn't get a whole lot of, wasn't able to really reap the benefits of that. So I'll have to see how this 2v2, if it's going to go in their favor, as both NGs are here, both Revenants are over here. Mid is Decap. Java back up in the fight after he got res by Paul. Zor was all over him, looking for the stomp. Now a Decap coming out there from Nero, who's looking for the 1v1 against Muffins. It's really been all Nero this game against Muffins. We'll have to see if he's able to turn it around.
Ooh, a big pickup there from Edison and Edmonton. Basically brothers, right? I mean, have played together for so long. But K-Pud is going to fall to that dynamic duo there, with Zeus going to be pulling away from that one. And so far, I mean, these two guys, I have to say for Easy Peasy, Edison, Edmonton, and Nero have been playing so well today, and I think that's a big factor in them, you know, doing so well against this Team PC, who I expected actually to be pretty dominant in this matchup.
Honestly, Nero looks like he's been a part of this team for ages now. With the synergy that he's kind of brought to this team now, it really feels like they're, as a group, as one unit, really taking it to Team PZ. There is a 2-cap coming out for them. All 5 members of Team PZ are just sitting around the mid node. They could get snowballed off this because there's really not a whole lot to do in the situation except wipe the rest of the team, and it looks like they could start out by getting on top of Ostrich Eggs. Muffins looking to get out of this fight. He's just getting trained down consistently by Edmonton now, and they're just going to split to the side nodes, exactly what they need to do in that situation.
Yeah, Eggs falling once again, but nonetheless, Edmonton going to be in a pretty good situation here, putting a lot of damage down onto K-Pud. K-Pud getting that Herald heal off just in the nick of time there, going into the block as well. So looks like they're going to be trying to take him out still, and they do manage to get just so much damage down after those slick shoes. Looks like they're going to be able to try to finish him off, but the search and rescue is going to come out, and it might not, it's actually not enough, as Edison is going to be able to get that tornado down, and that's going to be enough to push everybody off that body, and K-Pud's going to be going down. 2
members down. Java not looking too healthy outside of the Reaper Shroud. Muffins and Zeus still okay. Zeus not going to be okay for long, though. Look at the Condi sticking on him. Thunderclap going to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Doesn't have a whole lot outside of that, though, and he will be taken in the downstate. Outside of this Elixir S, as doesn't have a whole lot left. Does have his heal. Doesn't use it, though. That rocket charge will be taken down regardless. Java, meanwhile, is going to be very low as well. Might be taken down, runs into the wrong place here. He's going to be taken down, and it really feels like all easy peasy right now.
Yeah, completely. I mean, and the weird thing is that across the board, I mean, look at look at Easy Peasy. They also have 2 guys down, but still feeling dominant. K-Pud right now, I mean, in my opinion, extremely out of position, trying to take a 1v2 against this and just hold this. I mean, Edison could have potentially just collapsed on him. He had the slick shoes up and just completely disregarded K-Pud almost, I mean, yeah, completely. I mean, really. And they could have got a kill off of that. Ostrich Eggs being, once again, a little bit too aggressive in his positioning is going to be taken out by Java and K-Pud. Edison not going to be able to do much about that.
I really feel like Ostrich Eggs has went down a few too many times in these team fights. There's the Moa actually coming out there from Muffins on Edmonton. We're going to see Zeus pick up a decap over at the waterfall. Things not really going too well in terms of point accumulation here for Team PZ, but they can start to get something going if they continue to pressure Ostrich Eggs, take them out of the fights and outnumber them. They just got to keep rotating with them. They're still down 100 points, 530 remaining. This could very well come down to a Lord kill.
Edison has just been eliminated over at the waterfall. Zeus going to be just kind of holding it here, going to get that gyro finish there, and he's going to be able to get the full cap as well over at this waterfall.
Ostrich Eggs doesn't look like he'll be able to get there.
Not at all.
Looked like he was attempting. Zeus, good positioning, didn't want to get feared off the node, trying to avoid some of that early pressure with the marks. Now going to be in a 1v1 with Ostrich Eggs. We'll take a look at that in a moment, but Edmonton under a lot of pressure as well at the mid node by Java. We actually see now Nero in a 1v2 from K-Pud and Muffins. He's going to be taken down, and things might be turned around here once again for the 3rd game in a row. It's been all easy peasy, and Team PZ's managed to find a way to try and get back in this game, and this is it, holding on to a 2-cap here.
Yeah, Zeus getting kind of low here, though, and the pressure is going to be unrelenting as Edmonton clicks that 3 skill and brings him down. And Java right now is not in a good spot at all, as they're going to be able to collapse on him as soon as they finish the job on this one. Zoro's going to be able to come over and get this stomp. K-Pud now adding to this fight as well. So, I mean, this could be a 3-man wipe potentially if they stick around.
Surprisingly enough, you said a lot of pressure on Java, but they didn't even focus him a lot. They saw K-Pud coming in potentially for a res on a Zeus. Now they're forced off this node, only down 40 points in this game, and we'll have to see if they're going to be able to get out of this one. K-Pud's really not going to provide a whole lot of disengage except for that Glint Elite there, and it looks like that might be able to do it for him, as Paul was going to come in, try and support Nero, though, with the immediate MOA onto Java. Saw him coming down. Good communication coming out there from Easy Peasy.
Yeah, mid-air as well, just got him there. Java is going to get ported out and go over to the safety of the quarry, probably before getting his heal off and coming back through, although he is going to opt instead for waiting to get out of combat, and he's just really kind of wasting a lot of time over here as he's waiting for it, and now Edmonton, he's going to have to walk all the way back. Yeah,
Edmonton already on the door, 3:35 remaining in this game number 3. We are going to see Zeus come and try and pressure him. Zeus is probably the guy to go in that situation, has the most team support along with Paul, and Edmonton's actually going for it. I don't really like this move. I don't feel that it's necessary. I feel like as soon as he got that gate, he should have left and went back to the team fight.
Yeah, and the Bulwark coming out as well. K-Pud going to be adding to this. They might be able to pick off a kill.
This is it. This is it, Nero. I thought Nero was going to go for it. He had the portal down at the mid node. Nero's actually going to opt otherwise to go for that mid fight still, because the 2-cap coming out there from Muffins with the waterfall, and Edmonton trained all the way back to that quarry node.
They need this kill. They need a kill first, though. I mean, it's absolutely imperative at this point that they get a kill, and it's going to look like they're going to be trying to get it on Java here, who's getting extremely low. A lot of support going towards him, though. It looks like he might go down. If they manage to get this kill, they can portal out almost immediately here. We are going to be seeing the search and rescue, so that is going to be taken away from them. They will have to take him down once more, but if they do so...
But they've got to do it quick, though, because this portal expires in about 10 seconds, and Nero knows that. He knows his team has to do it now if he wants to get this Lord play. We also see it on the other side. Muffins doesn't have a portal down, but he's going for the gate. They're all going for it. Even without the 500, but PZ's on the other side as well. They've got 4 members, but they still need a kill. Yeah. They're not going to win if they don't get a kill, and it's going to get potentially
But Zeus is down. They need the stomp right now. They absolutely need it.
No!
There's the stomp.
Oh my gosh!
It's going to be a race, boys.
Who's got it? Take a look at the Blue Lord. Blue Lord's 50%. Red Lord's only about 50%. Now it's going to be Team PZ coming out with game number 3. A miraculous finish. Game number 1. Taking a look at some opening splits between these teams. Gems and Tonic up against Never Lucky. We'll run heading to the altar right away. Looks like a little bit of a group up coming out here. Red team going to send Dalton a little bit later over to the temple, but both teams actually going to be crossing. Let's head back on into the game here and take a look at what's going on there.
Yeah, we did see Steel drop down already, so he's going to be going over towards that midpoint from the staircase here. Stalactite taking pressure already at about 40% HP. Does get a huge heal off, though, and actually that was Wash the Pain. Does have most of his other cooldowns ready to go, and it is Devil the Mist actually taking a lot of pressures. And Feov, it looks like he's actually kind of suffering the pain of that sword offhand there from Devil.
Both teams getting their home nodes. We are going to see Zerko, as I expected. He is going to make a push for that far node, and he's actually going to kind of meet his match, I feel. Engineer is a good counter to something like the longbow on the Ranger, but Devil the Mist, a lot of pressure coming out onto him. Look at the condies. He should be okay thanks to Zuko here, but still, we're going to see a full-on 5v5 at this mid node.
And a big stun coming out onto Zuko, who is going to fall. And that was from Sunfish to put him down a ton of pressure down as well. On top of that, Body Devil getting down to about 20% HP as well. Doesn't have that glint heal anymore, so he's very vulnerable now. And Sunfish actually needs to get away a little bit, get some support from his teammates, and Devil is going to jump right on top of that and just pull back because, you know, he cannot stick around at all in that team fight there with all of them just standing there.
And Olrun actually peeled out to get the decap in full cap at the temple, and they're still managing to hold on here. It's kind of why that res was allowed, kind of why they kind of got a little bit low there, but ultimately weren't able to do a whole lot. We have Zerko now looking for the far push against Feov. That's a little bit of an easier matchup with that longbow, but Olrun definitely going to be his biggest counter here. We'll have to see if he's able to get some knockback, but back onto the node. Doesn't really do a whole lot with it for the most part. Take a look at the mid node, though. What do we got going on over there?
Stalactite went for that water overload and actually got CC'd on the slick shoes and wasn't able to get out of the slick shoes at all. So he lost that cooldown. Nonetheless, did manage to get some good heals out to his teammate and to himself. So they're looking pretty good at the moment still, and that's actually a pretty good 2v2 setup to be in. Although it is a mirror, and Stalactite taking a lot of pressure here, and it looks like actually pretty good for Gyms and Tonics so far. And Sunfish is going to be left to wait for that rotation there.
Feov picked up a kill on the Zerko there in that 1v1. Zuko under a lot of pressure here at the mid node. Tau trying to give him some support with that Chill the Bone, but there's so much pressure coming out here. They are outmanned, outnumbered here. The rest of his team's just kind of moseying around, not really doing a whole lot around their home node. Zerko is going to come in, get the res onto Zuko, or actually no, he's still in the downstate there. He did just use that misform in the downstate. It's going to probably get back up here. It looks like he does. They take a lot of damage in the process, but this has just been all never lucky.
Yeah, completely. Feov is going to be chasing down Tau right now. It looks like they're going to be going into a little bit of a 1v1 here, and Feov is going to be getting a pretty good burst there at the beginning, but of course taking a lot of condition pressure, and that's something you need to be careful about in this this 1v1 scenario. So definitely going to be interesting, as you're going to be seeing Zerko add to this one as well. Feov not going to be in a good spot until Stalactite gets here, and that is going to be right about now, turning this into a 2v2.
Taking a look at the mid node. They are able to force Sunfish out of there. That was a 2v1. Steel was off the map, so they will pick up that cap for themselves. 11:30. Stillness is going to be in play for these teams. No one making an aggressive push for it. Steel off of respawn is going to use that blink to get there, and he should have it uncontested. No one even around, so they will be able to pick up that cap. Don't have any nodes for themselves, but they will be picking up the altar in just a moment here.
Yeah, Feov was able to get that kill off on Tau, so he's going to be able to get the full cap there onto Altar, as you were saying. And it looks like we are going to be seeing Olrun and Steel going for a 2v2 here between Zerko and Devil, and they're getting, or Devil rather, is getting incredibly low. And Zuko is actually just taken down at the mid node, but was brought back up. Devil back over at the temple right now, getting extremely low, only has 1,000 HP, was able to get the both heals off, actually.
I don't think he needed to use that extra heal.
Yeah, I don't know.
He could have Connie cleansed. He could have swapped the staff. I don't really like that he felt the need to use that. Now he's looking to move back into the fight. That's not really a great move, given the fact he's still under, he's still extremely low.
And has no cooldowns.
Probably
now.
Should have looked for a reset there.
Half endurance, under 50% on the energy as well, despite the fact that he was in combat. Definitely not a good move from him, but still, Zuko was taken down. Dalton was actually just taken down as well, so Never Lucky looking good again, but Stalactite actually got the blink stomp there. Great job from him. Dalton is going to be bled out pretty shortly. And already Devil is still under pressure at this stage, but certainly Olrun's more.
Zerko trying to use that terrain to his advantage, isn't stealth, might be able to look for a decap, but Steel is going to be able to get that immob onto him. Put a lot of Connie pressure. Zerko is actually just going to drop down. Devil the Mist still in the downstate here. This is all Never Lucky still. They will look to make an aggressive push onto that Temple node in just a matter of moments as Tau is going to be following up onto Ulrun, looking to take him down. He's actually going to be taken into downstate now. We might see a potential stomp onto him as Zuko is going in for it. Isn't going to be able to pick it up. We do see Ulrun back up into the mix now with Stalacta picking up that res, and Never Lucky continuing to building a dominating lead here.
Yeah, I'm actually just watching here in this 1v1 between Steel and Zerko. I mean, I'm really kind of expecting Steel to win with at this one. Should win. I mean, he certainly does have the advantage, but something that I haven't been able to determine yet is if Steel has been living up to his potential. And right now, we haven't really seen a lot from him. Certainly, I mean, doesn't have too much impact in the game as a whole right now, other than a portal that we saw Ulrun taking earlier. But I would definitely like to see him winning a little bit more of his fights in these 1v1s. I mean, he's set up for that. So I'm kind of just watching to see if he's going to be able to pull that out.
Mesmers were a huge part of the last set. Not really a huge impact by Mesmer Steel, the only Mesmer in this game actually, just yet in this one. But they're still dominating, so it's not like it's a super close match where he has to make that huge impact roll for that matter. There's a 2-cap coming out there for Never Lucky. Sunfish looking to pick up the kill on Dalton, who is in the downstate. They might be able to get
Steel getting that free bottom cap there, and they are going to be able to get it on the Trank, and they're going to have that 3-cap, and it looks like over at the top buff.
I mean, Stillness did go in favor of Gemstone. They got something, but the 3-cap, like you said, a little bit more important for that matter.
Yeah, and we are going to be seeing Dalton being taken out completely here. They're just kind of finishing the job right now. Steel coming back up the stairs, and they're just going to be holding on to that gate point for now. 1v1 going on between Ulrun and Zuko, and that decap did happen over at the altar where actually Devil was getting pretty close to getting that finished off. But Sunfish actually is kind of built for this 1v1 between the Rev. I mean, he's got that, he's got the right heal for it, has a really low cooldown for that. I mean, if in a team fight, he would be looking pretty good here, for sure.
Devil in this needs to be very careful. Raj really not doing a whole lot from Zerko rather, in terms of support, and he's just dodging around trying to get, he just ran into the mix of the fight. I don't really think that was necessarily the greatest place to go, as both of them are going to look to move towards the altar node and see if they can pick off Sunfish. But Feoff coming in with the deeps and going to take him into the downstate. Probably not going to be able to finish.
I do want to make mention that those mobility dodges that people do a lot of the time, that's a perfect example of why not to do them, because as soon as Feoff jumped on Devil, he didn't have any endurance left for him to kind of negate some of that damage that he was about to take. So definitely try not to do that.
Still that 1 node ticking in favor of Never Lucky. Still have there's the 2-cap coming out from them, as Sunfish was able to seal the deal, and Feoff just kind of holding off both Devil and Zerko and just running around here trying to keep himself up. Has a couple cooldowns available. Glint up in a couple seconds. Will he be able to stay alive? Devil the miss, doing what he can. 870 health coming out there. Unrelenting Soul almost taking down Devil here. Doesn't have his heal, and both of them are super low now. Both probably going to part ways and look to cut their losses there. Oh no, Devil coming out there, taking down
and
Feoff.
That is why you like that offhand sword too. With the Grasping Shadow, of course, did have that that block just before with the sword 4, but now he's under some pressure because Stalacta was able to come and support his teammate there, and he is probably going to get completely stomped out here by Stalacta. They do still, or sorry, Never Lucky has the gate right now, and they are going to be plussing Ulrun, who is in a 1v1 with Zuko still here. Dalton's going to be adding to this one, and this is actually potentially going to be a pretty big fight here, as we are seeing Sunfish as well as Feoff basically controlling this fight versus Zerko here, doing a great job. Took him off of it already. Zerko is getting extremely low, has that Signet Stone up though, so he's going to be able to stay alive a little bit longer, but nonetheless, throughout this entire fight, Altar has been in favor of the blue team, who is just utterly dominating right now.
Zerko is going to be taken down here. We're going to see Ulrun come and seal the deal now. It's still holding on to that 2-cap. Got 80 points remaining. Stillness is up in a couple of seconds here, and this is just going to kind of slowly end in favor of Never Lucky. I don't see really any potential for a comeback coming out from these guys. We don't have Tranquility up for another few minutes now. So Tau looking for it. Not going to be able to get it for his team just yet, but they'll look to move over to the forest and try and patch up some of the mistakes they had in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly at this point, it's I think the interesting approach that they're taking is the fact that they aren't playing with a Mesmer. And I think that Mesmer, especially on this map, I mean, you can kind of get away with it on a couple of other maps maybe. Certainly Forest is going to be one of those ones where it's like, I would really want one, but maybe Legacy you can kind of get away with it. If you just kind of force the team fights, maybe play 2, you might be able to get away with it. But at this stage, on this map especially, where it's very much based on rotations, I mean, there's 5 different areas of the map of extreme interest. I mean, you have top, bottom, buff, and of course the 3 points as well. I mean, having that Mesmer is such a big deal. I mean, Steel maybe might not have had as much impact as we saw from the Mesmers in the previous set, but still, I think that, I mean, you really kind of got to have it on this map when you're going up against a very similar comp despite that.
Game number 2 on Forest of Niflhel going to be starting up here. Let's take a look at some opening splits, as we are probably going to be seeing some cross come out from both of these teams, just stacking up their might, swiftness now. And it looks like of both teams, actually 4-man cross coming out there for Gems and Tonic. Let's head over to the beach and take a look at what's going on here.
Yeah, and it's going to be pretty aggressive cross already. Steel's trying to get over, and it's all, I mean, Devil is just putting in work on him, got him down to about 60% HP, and Steel now is going to not benefit from that heal, and he's going to be taken down again to about 75%. The static shield, or sorry, the shocking aura rather, is actually going to bring him out of that evade from the sword 2 of that blurred frenzy. So they're just going to be reverting back. Pretty good play there from Zuko actually to push them off and make them force back over towards the mid fight. Where, I mean, talking about Gems and Tonic and talking about their history, I mean, always been about team fights. So definitely like to see that from them, pushing them towards that team fight, because that's where they feel the most comfortable.
There is a portal down from Steel over at the mine point. If anything goes wrong here within the next minute or so, they can just get him right back out. He actually, nothing went wrong. He just went for the portal. Meanwhile, we do have Devil Miss in that 1v1 with Olrun. Olrun might actually drop out of this one. He is an Elixir S. A lot of damage. Devil Miss might be able to take out Olrun. Olrun gets his heal off, picks up the decap regardless. Is going to get plus, though, by Feov.
I mean, in this situation, we actually heard Zeus talk about it just a couple of moments ago, being that NG, and especially with a Marauder Amulet potentially, like really kind of, it's hit or miss with those rev duels. And I mean, if you kind of misplay a little bit, especially against Devil, who has that sword, who can really kind of put down a lot of pressure all at once, really kind of punish you for using the wrong cooldowns at the wrong period of time, then you are going to struggle a little bit for that. But we are seeing over at the midpoint, Dalton getting kind of low here already. 2 cap was just taken away for blue team, but now have that 1 cap.
In that case of Zeus, you know, he is kind of newer to that engineer role. So is Olrun. So they kind of both share that same aspect of this, but they're going to have a little bit of a skirmish, move over towards that henge node. A little bit of a lead in favor of Never Lucky, but definitely not too far gone now for Gems and Tonic, who are looking to push for both the side nodes now and get on top of Feov, who needs to be a little careful here.
Yeah, definitely an interesting 2v2 here as Steel. I mean, Steel actually often really kind of tries to put a lot of pressure down all at once, and it looks like that is the case as he's trying to take down Devil here, and it looks like Devil has done quite a good job actually of maintaining himself and just kind of maintaining composure rather, and just staying alive. But it looks like he is going to be dropping pretty soon here. It does actually go down from Olrun, and it looks like they're going to be able to get the function gyro off. Now all that's left is really just kind of putting some more damage down, making sure that they can get Zerko in the process perhaps, but Steel looks like he's just going to be following that one out, and Olrun's going to be getting that full cap. So now a 3 cap taken away for Team Never Lucky.
Very, very strong start for Never Lucky, who are looking to continue with the pressure over at their home nodes. Still got a couple members for Gems and Tonic over here who are looking fairly healthy now if they're able to keep up in this fight. I believe this is a 2v3 though. In favor, no, this is 3v3 rather. Still 3v3 over here. Not going to get plus. 2 1v1s going on around the map now. Dalton is under a little bit of pressure here. Doesn't have a whole lot. Has his heal up in just a moment now. Huge Connie burst coming out onto Sunfish, who took a lot of damage there. He might be taken down. He doesn't have any transfers available. Rebound coming out there from Selecta. 460 health. He might be taken down. Has Reaper Shroud in about a second now. Gets a Connie transfer taken down regardless. Is the stomp going to be coming out there? Looks like the res potentially. And the stomp. Ooh, he comes out for Gems and Tonic.
Yeah, a little bit too late there, Feov. With the Surge of the Mist, he's going to be missing out on that one. Going to be pulling out. You know, they're going to be just kind of trying to take this back over towards the keep. Looks like blue team was forced away a little bit over at the other other side of the map with Devil trying to pull away and trying to stay alive. Looks like Zerko was doing just the same, so they did quite well over there. So at least there is a silver lining for them, as Devil is getting still even lower right now as they try to just train him down. And if they can pick up a kill here, that'll be a big deal for them in the future, as Tao was actually just taken down as well across the map. So if they can get both of these guys, as it looks like they were almost just able to do, I mean, they're going to have full control across the map yet again.
It looks like Spawn here kind of caught up in the business now. He's just going to kind of get...
He's just coming over to try to get the point.
Yeah, that kind of wall there just kind of blocking him off from getting back to his base. But Devil the Mist is going to be stomped out over here once again at the mine point. And Gems and Tonic really hasn't been able to get anything going at their own home node. Tao looking to come into this fight, but they need a full regroup over here, and they lose their cap at the Henge node, forced out of the 2v3 due to the fact they lost a member of their Tao just a moment ago. And this is, I mean, they're down 200 points now. The Moa onto Tao, that's brutal. A lot of Condi's sticking on him.
Yeah, Zuko was eliminated here. Quick bleed out as well, as the Condis are just going. And blue team yet again, just looking so good across the map. Steel was just stomped out there by Devil, actually, and Olrun was not able to keep him alive, but this is a 3v2 at the moment, so blue team looks like they're going to be trying to add to this one. Feob did manage to make it back over, and Zerko is actually the one taking a lot of heat right now, and actually Devil is not in a position to really do much either. Feob doing quite a good job at, putting down some really good pressure right now, keeping his teammate able to just kind of kite around as they're all on the defensive. They do manage to take down Tao here, and they're going to be able to probably get the res, as Search and Rescue did just go off, and they do manage to get it. But this is going to be a pretty pivotal fight for...
it's going to be a full-on 5v5 here, because Steel made his way. 100% HP, has full cooldowns, doesn't have continuum split, rather. Could use that for his Moa, but this game is slowly nearing an end, so he could use that if he wanted to, use that Signet of Humility, but he's just going to train down Devil the Mist, who looked to peel out towards that mid node, knew they needed to get something going elsewhere if they wanted to come back into this game. But first off, they do have to clean up the fight at their home node here.
Yeah, I mean, with it kind of ticking away at this point, I think that it is definitely a good idea to potentially start thinking about getting double MOAs and maybe start doing that kind of stuff. But, I mean, he doesn't really need it at this stage. Yeah. I mean, certainly, once it gets really close, yeah, go for it. It doesn't really matter. But I definitely would have wanted to see him use that continuum split for the first one, and then, maybe wait and see what happens later on. At this point with Devil the Mist, you never know if he's just going to turn around and just unload a huge burst on you, get a good CC chain off with that Grasping Shadow as well. So definitely a good idea to hold on to it for at least a couple seconds. Now he has both of them. Definitely a good opportunity to do it now.
Zerko getting a decap at the midpoint. Meanwhile, Dolson was taken into the downstate. They are going to pick up the stomp for themselves. Tao is the only one remaining at this home node. He needs to get some help here. Zuko is actually looking to lead the fight. He's going to let him die out over at the home node in a 1v3 and go support elsewhere. Look for a cap maybe at the mid node, but 100 points away from a victory. Game number 2 for Never Lucky.
Yeah, Steel right now still fighting against Devil, and Zerko has added to this as well, and Feob came over to support. So now we are going to be seeing Feob on Devil now instead, as he's probably going to be more apt to finish the job, as Devil has been solo for so long, and now Steel has been eliminated. Actually, Devil was able to get that precision strike, it looks like, and the pet actually was able to get the knockdown for that killing blow, so that is actually a good pickup for them. But nonetheless, across the board, blue team has just done so well. The only kind of, I guess, vulnerability, that they have has been kind of Steel at this point, I have to say.
Yeah, but even so, it's not like they've needed an impressive MVP performance from him by any means.
Yeah.
And in the last game, we saw MVP performances from multiple people, 3 people from Easy Peasy, multiple people from PZ for that matter. So this game, it's not really necessarily as quite needed. This is mainly Never Lucky's game. They're just doing what they do best and proving that they're a dominant team in this scene.
Yeah, and honestly, we talk about this team a lot, Never Lucky, and the reason being is because they were kind of like one of these Gems and Tonic type teams last season, and they've come through season 2 as, with a definitely a great strong pickup from Sunfish coming from Spooky, a team that did quite well last season, and certainly I would say probably the reason why Spooky was doing so well. That big pickup, have done a lot over the course of the offseason and really kind of made strides in making sure that they picked up their two guys who kind of are new to the scene a little bit. Certainly, I wouldn't say that as much anymore, Feov and Steele. Feov has certainly made a name for himself, at least in my mind, as doing quite well. But I mean, it's really kind of, I think if they round out Steele and really get some synergy with that guy, Never Lucky, I mean, that is definitely a really, really strong team.
What do you think about Spooky in this one? How do you think they can take this one?
Well, I think the interesting thing about Spooky is that it's a brand new roster, and they're kind of looking to come into themselves, I think, a little bit. And I mean, they have some very, very strong players. I mean, Brinslow is kind of new a little bit in this level of the scene, and I think that he has to kind of prove himself right now. He's on that Angie, pretty good at it. Schnicki, of course, a very strong player as well. So I think it's all about getting them to play together as a team and really kind of play off one another, and that's going to be the big focus for them.
And it looks like a huge push coming out from both teams. Got a 1v1 at the gate. Schnicki under a little bit of pressure, but we will see Astral take their home node over at the temple, and the same coming out there for Spooky, but Astral with a massive push over towards that node with Chaith, Nas, and Toker all in the mix here, trying to take down Schnicki, who doesn't have a whole lot left, it seems, except for that Glint heal, which will be able to keep him alive.
Yeah, we actually did see the water overload coming out from Cast, and that actually didn't hit Schnicki at all. He was kind of by himself there, so, I mean, definitely have to make sure you get those. Toker getting extremely low here, and they might actually take him down. They do actually take him down. Doesn't look like anybody's going to be able to get the res off. The function gyro is near, but it does get taken down. Nos actually tried to go in there as well, but Wakey's actually going to come into this fight. They do have the one cap on Temple, and it looks like Nos taking a lot of pressure right here.
He's able to get rid of those Condis up to 100% HP now with full Shroud. He is looking fairly healthy. Schnicki with the peel out towards the mid node. He's looking to plus that mid fight, knows that Toker is coming off respawn and is going to be there as well. Big burst onto Fanaram at the mid node, taking a look at what's going down there. And the stop potentially coming out there. Toker actually not making a push for it because he knows that that's a risky move, doesn't want to get caught out. Actually going for Schnicki, who's able to get his Glint heal off now. We could potentially see this interesting 1v1 here.
Yeah, this is actually kind of surprising from Spooky, actually doing quite a good job managing to get that midpoint, taking kills across the map a little bit here. Duck actually getting really, really low right now. Came out of Reaper Shroud a little bit prematurely, in my opinion, as he didn't have his heal up at all. Doesn't have even weapon swap available to him. Going to be trying to get that shout heal off. Does actually get a huge heal from Cast, just enough to get his own shout heal off, so that was a great job from his teammate there getting some support in, but nonetheless they're still all over this guy, and despite the fact that Wakey pulled off, Nos and Chaith are certainly going to have enough pressure to focus him down completely. Doesn't have too many cooldowns left, so he's going to be taken down shortly.
Nas's experience definitely trumps that of Duck, so definitely going to have that upper hand for that. We do see Toker in the downstate here, but Schnicki going in for the cleave.
Well, he's not cleaving. He wasn't cleaving the body for a while there, and that's the thing.
Oh, he still got him down. Wakey didn't want to have anything to do with that. I'm very surprised because he almost was back up in the midst of that fight.
Physics was able to come in there and provide some support there. Okay. I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken. We did see the Mesmer in there.
He portaled back. Yeah, he did portal back. Fanaram, however, under a lot of pressure, gets his heal off, forced to use a couple cooldowns, still has his MOA if he wants to use it. Wakey is MOA now, coming out there from Physics, who already used that continuum split, is going to come back out of it and look to see if they can put some pressure down onto Wakey. Wakey was not pressured one bit. They were still going for Fanaram there. They just didn't probably want any of the healing from Wakey to connect with Fanaram, but really not able to capitalize on that MOA coming out there from Physics.
This is actually really surprising. I mean, they're definitely holding their own. I mean, Astral certainly looking a little bit stronger as expected, but I mean, really, Spooky showing that they're not just a team to take it like this. I mean, they're definitely doing a good job of staying in this game. Schnicki was just eliminated though, and he's going to be left to bleed out perhaps, although Cast is right next to him. Nos is pretty low himself actually, as he's at about 40%, does have that heal, and he is going to go ahead and use it.
I mean, we do know that this is not the Abjured's best map by any means, but they're definitely still holding up here, still holding onto a lead. Nos looking to get some help from Toker and take down Cass. Meanwhile, a couple members actually eliminated on the side of blue at near the gate for that matter. Duck and Schnicki both coming off respawn about the same time, potentially looking to get back their home node.
Cass was just blown up by Toker and Nos there, and it looks like he's just going to try to vapor a little bit, try to stay alive longer just to make sure that they can't get top buff for free. But nonetheless, I mean, Astral is just all over the place, just dominating this. Duck is actually going to come in with Schnicki, though, just after their teammate died, and try to turn that into a 2v1. Quickly turns into a 2v3 though, as we are going to be seeing Chaith and Toker both add to this. Nos was just taken down, some CC going down. Function Gyro was up as well, getting him back up into the fight. And Physics actually extremely low over here at the temple, trying to stay alive.
Good decap from Brenslow. Wakey gonna make that a 1v1. I like that rotation from him. Cast also off respawn. Might be able to pick up a decap here. I don't think Chase is going to be able to get this. Good rotations coming out here from Spooky, but Stillness going in favor, of course, to Astral, who will be taking a 2-cap for the time being with that Soul Temple node in their favor and continuing to build this dominant lead.
Yeah, the rest of this blue team here are doing quite well across the map, or so it seems, as Duck is still waiting to be off of respawn. But Wakey right now in the MOA at about 10% HP, getting extremely low, and actually does get finished off, although they're probably going to be able to get that res off. That is the case, as Physics is taken down as well, and counter pressure goes down on that body, and that's going to be Physics eliminated as well. But I mean, for the most part, Astro looking extremely good across the board here, despite the fact that Spooky has kind of shown up a little bit more than we anticipated.
They really have, and impressing me for the most part. The fact that Duck is on the Necromancer and actually making somewhat of an impact for his team here. I mean, even Thief, it wasn't like he made the most significant strides in Thief in the last week that we saw him on it, but I definitely feel like he made a bit of an impact, and I have to see how he's going to be able to progress on the Necro over the coming games here and potential weeks if he decides to stick with it. But it looks like he's under a lot of pressure now by Toker. Is he able to stay alive? He's got Nos all over him as well. The 2-cap still for Astral. Duck will be taken in downstate. That's going to be a 3-man wipe for Spooky.
And we have to remember though, is like, this is a big confidence booster for Astral too, because they haven't played with Wakey since since the finals actually of the last season. So this is something where they're looking to see, you know, are they still the team that they were in season 1? Because last week they kind of struggled a little bit versus Never Lucky. Of course, Never Lucky is an extremely powerful team, as we've seen, but I mean, they really need to take this game by storm, because it really kind of matters a lot to them as a team to prove to themselves, hey, we're still as good as we have always been. You know?
Unfortunately, we won't get to see another Astral versus Never Lucky rematch or anything, at least until if there happens to be something like that in season finals, if they both make it, because that was an exciting match even without Wakey there, so we'd have to see how that would go in terms of whose team favor would go in. But Astral Authority with a 3-cap right now, and Spooky really not able to get anything going for themselves, contesting both of the buffs, but Chaith knows that Cass can't really do anything to him down below. Mid seems to be what Brenslow is hoping for along with Duck, but Spooky, this is just, you know, they did start out fairly well and impressed us, you know, with what they were able to do against Astral, but it's kind of been Authority all game long.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that, I mean, for them, they're kind of used, I mean, this group of players, rather, I mean, even Duck, but certainly Schnicky and Physics have always kind of relied on, I believe, Sunfish, really to kind of make a lot of the calls in these kind of clutch moments where the game has already been progressed and, you know, we're halfway through at the mid-game or something like that, or even kind of closer to the end. They've always kind of relied on them, so they're kind of waiting for someone to kind of step up and be that player. I mean, you know, talking about teams like Astral, on the other hand, where you have 5 guys really, really, really knowing what they're doing. They play together for so long. They have a lot of synergy. They don't necessarily need that person. They can always kind of play off of each other, but someone on Spooky has to step up and kind of take the charge, in my opinion.
Game number 2 on the Forest starting up here. Let's take a look at some opening splits as they enter the map. Definitely going to be some crossers from both teams, as we can see 4 coming out the side for Astral, 3 on the side of Spooky, heading back onto the beach now. Both teams actually stealthed up here, and both going to reveal themselves with the engineer from Chaith. We'll have to see. It looks like, oh, Phaneram able to squeak right on by them with that blink and trying to make his way to that point. Might get caught out there. Schnicky trying to hold him off, and it looks like Duck should be able to get the cap, as Phaneram's just going to drop the portal and head out of this one.
Schnicky, in the meantime, though, huge pressure coming onto him from Phaneram, who's just kiting him all over the place right now, and it's not looking good for him. But they did manage to get that point, and they're going to be able to go towards the midpoint. But already Astral has kind of set themselves up to be in a pretty good shape right now for this fight to occur. Brenslow already taking a lot of pressure. Schnicky, of course, forced to just kind of rotate far. A little bit of miscommunication there. Physics trying to go over there as well, and actually they get the decap. That's definitely really unfortunate for them going forward.
The decap will come out there at the mine point from Schnicky, but Astral was able to capitalize on the numbers advantage at the keep pick up that one for themselves. 10-point lead, just about 1 minute into this game. We are going to see Brenslow taken down in the roads. That was by, I believe it was Chaith and Toker over there. And Toker is looking to plus the 1v1 between the Mesmers. I think Physics is going to be taking a lot of heat here in a matter of moments.
Yeah, Doug looks like he's just kind of honing in on Nos, and Nos is just so good at getting these 1v1s between Necromancers, so I'm not expecting him to pull away with this one, and just, especially with this heal and with the way that he's set up, Duck, I don't think he should be even anywhere near Nos at this stage, unless Nos is just really, really low under a lot of pressure, because Nos is running Curses, Duck is running Spite, Nos has the right heal for the job, and Duck does, not.
Yeah, given Nos's experience, I would not want that 1v1 by any means if we're going up, Necro v Necro, despite a little bit of a build swap, or excuse me, build different, there's a little bit different builds, but Schnicky now under a lot of pressure, he's going to be taken down. Cass coming in for the res, not quite sure, he does get him back up into the mix, has his heal available, is going to get Brenslow some heals as well, but the 2-cap from Astral, Duck off of Respawn, going straight to the mine. We are going to see Physics go to the Henge as well, and pick up decaps on the side notes for both these teams, unless Phantom has a portal. He has a portal down somewhere, probably going to be able to get back towards that Henge note if he drops it in time. Looks like he does, but the decap almost coming out there. Not quite, though.
Brenslow literally just got ran over by a stampede of Astral guys, and he is going to get stomped out by Function Gyro, and they're going to be looking now to take down Cast, and Cast actually is going to be taken out before he even makes it to that point, so all they have to do is just kind of sit and wait. Chaith's probably just going to stand on that point. He doesn't really have to do anything. They have the 2-cap advantage, they have the numbers advantage, and soon they'll continue that numbers advantage, potentially, as Physics was really low for a moment there, but looks like he is going to be able to get out of combat in the meantime.
Nos. Yeah, Duck didn't want the 1v1 between him and Nos. Was already at a disadvantage in terms of health, potentially even cooldowns he didn't really know, but didn't want that 1v1. Is going to be met by Chaith in the roads now. We are going to see Physics pick up a decap at the keep, and Toker just running rampant now, able to do whatever he wants. Over 100-point lead here for Astral, who are just shutting down Spooky all over the map.
Yeah, absolutely. But this is, as I was saying, this is kind of what they needed. Obviously, we kind of expected them to take this game, but Astral really needed this win. They really needed to show that they're still as dominant as they have always been. We did see Spooky actually do quite a good job in some of these fights, and they have proven that they actually are getting better, and I'm really interested to see if they actually continue at this pace, because perhaps towards the end of the season, or perhaps even after that mid-season patch or something, we might see a totally different team here, as they have done quite well in some of these fights. Physics actually taking it to Nos right now, get him down to about 50%. Schnick's going to be able to add to this with the MOA up as well. They're going to be able to take him out. Of course, Toker are going to be there to provide some counter pressure, and they're certainly going to be able to get him up as they do just then. But, the pressure still on Nos is, really strong, and they're looking pretty good.
And you mentioned that Astral is trying to, show that they're still dominant. And I think it's more or less about, proving it to themselves that they know that they're still dominant. Not necessarily the other teams who obviously are watching by all means, but I think it's just telling themselves, okay, guys, we still have this. We're still the top dogs, and we're proving it right here by doing this to Spooky.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely need it for themselves, and especially since they haven't played with Wakey over the course of the offseason, that's definitely probably the biggest factor. As all of these guys are extremely strong individually, they really kind of have been dominant because of the way that they can play together as a team, and that's why they've been so good for so long, and the ability for them to kind of, get used to each other again is definitely, we saw it kind of create some problems in the beginning, but despite that, now they're looking extremely strong, and this is the Astral that we are used to seeing.
Physics off Respawn should be able to pick up a T-cap at the mine, though. We are going to see Brenslow lead Wakey straight to him. Not going to be able to get a full cap, obviously, if Wakey keeps on continuing in his path, and Brenslow is just trying to do what he can. Might drop a Slick Shoes if he wants to, but doesn't look like that will make a difference, because Wakey does have that lightning flash to get right out of it. Chieftain going in favor of Astral, with Toker picking that up by himself now. Phantom looking for respawns, though, but look at the positioning of Spooky right now. They are just all over the map. Really not much of a team synergy going on here.
Yeah, and Schnicky actually is going to be CC'd down, and Chaith is just all over him right now, trying to take him out. But at this point, this is kind of that mid-game stage that we were talking about in the last game where, you know, you see some kind of awkward rotations from Spooky. They don't really have that person to say, you know, we need to be doing this way, or, you know, we need to make an adjustment here or there. And because of that, I mean, we're definitely seeing some very odd situations here where we're actually seeing 2v2s and 3v2s that they're actually losing because they have some weird compositions in some of these fights. We actually saw that happen right now with Duck being taken out, and we have, I mean, Physics in a fight that he maybe didn't really need to be there, and he's going to be chased down as he gets his portal back up and goes right back into a fight that, again, I'm just not really sure what's going on here. 4 guys, I mean, could potentially turn into 5 guys if Duck does wind up coming over here off a respawn, but I have to imagine he is going to go for that free decap on Hinge.
What do you do right now? They're just trying to full regroup. I'd like that portal in the sense, okay, guys, full regroup, see if we can get something going, but the 3 cap by Astro not allowing for anything to happen. Duck off respawn might be able to pick up a decap. Oh, Phantom doesn't have a portal there, so he should be able to pick up a decap there, but look at this skirmish. As Spooky tries to move from a node to another node,
Ooh.
Astral just doesn't let it happen. They're not letting them get anywhere with their game here.
Yeah, Astral definitely looking pretty strong right now. Brenzo actually trying to get over here to the safety of Svanir. Maybe he might pull out another 1v2 here as he does get pretty low. Doesn't look like Astro is going to full commit to this. Actually, it looks like they are going to do it now and wind up taking it, and that's going to get them 25 points closer, ultimately leading to it being 500 to 46. Astro Authority taking it 2-0 over Team Spooky.
Let's take a look at some opening splits here. Game number 1 on the Temple of the Silent Storm. As we will be seeing, looks like Bear head to the altar, Subcutie heading to the temple, and both teams looking for some stealth play. Let's head back to the game here, both using those Rangers for the stealth, and both actually sending 2 crossers across the map there to deal with the other team's home node.
We're already seeing Trade taking a little bit of damage here, but as that Ranger, of course, he's going to be able to recover that rather quickly. And we are going to be seeing, for sure in a lot of these fights, I have to assume that we're going to be seeing a lot better pet control, certainly from the side of Urantian as opposed to Trig, who's really kind of not got enough experience, in my opinion, to be able to do that as well. Already got a 1 cap in favor of Final Form right now on the red team, and Subcutie's going to be able to pull off. And they do also have a 2v1, so if they can sustain actually on this midpoint, which they're doing a pretty good job of accomplishing so far, especially with Subcutie.
Bob.
But yeah, Bob actually just taken out, just obliterated actually, and he is. I don't think they're going to be able to get that. Oh, they do manage to get that search and rescue. Great job from Urantian making that play there, so he's going to be back up into it. And if they can pressure down Hazard, they may be able to turn this one back around.
Subcutie, Bear, kind of dealing with Zeromus over here. Not really looking to win this matchup, but back at that mid node. Looks like Hazard's still the primary target for Final Form now, as he will be getting himself to safety. He's got Subcutie trying to chase him down, trying to put that Condi Bomb onto him, but still a slight lead with that only node going in favor of Final Form over at the home. We are going to see a peel out coming out from Trig now. Big burst coming out from Hazard onto Bob, who took him down earlier, so have to see these 2 Revenants really going at it at the start.
Oh man, am I eating my words now? Zeromus just took out Bear in that 1v1. He's going to be able to get the... Oh, he's actually not even going to let him go with the stomp. Bear actually just teleported himself off the point, so now he's going to have to sit there and wait for that bleed out to occur. In the meantime, Zeromus is going to get that cap back for them on the altar. And looking back over at the temple, we are seeing Subcutie versus Trig here, and Subcutie should over time win this one. I mean, if he just kind of makes sure that he focuses his CCs at the right time along with a lot of pressure here, he could definitely win this one, but certainly he will win the point as he is doing right now. With it about halfway through the cap, they're going to probably pull away with a 2 cap, and at midpoint, I mean, they're just looking so strong across the board for sure. A lot of map control from these guys, and doing well in the 1v1s and the even the small skirmishes as well.
I mean, Urantian's holding on to a 1v2. I've got no idea what Eternity's doing right now. He's just kind of roaming around the midpoint, really not providing a whole lot to his team. He didn't really need to be at the mid in the first place, given the fact that Kenya should be okay against Urantian with everybody kind of close by. But now it's going to be a team fight. Eternity's back in here. This is where he needs to be. 2 nodes in favor of Final Form, yet to give a single point in favor of E-Dream. This is pretty good opening, I have to say, on their end.
Yeah, this is definitely, I mean, when I was talking about a 2-1 with E-Dream potentially upsetting, this is definitely the map where I assumed Final Form would win. But I don't think anybody anticipated them to be winning at, like, this rate. 107-0 right now. We are going to be seeing the first points come through for E-Dream in the form of the death from Ozzy, and they're going to be able to get this cap probably, unless Urantian gets in here and stops that, and that is going to be the case, as he's going to be trying to put some damage down onto Eternity, and Bear is going to be plussing this one out too, and that's kind of an odd rotation, putting the Mesmer in that situation, but nonetheless, Bob was taken out as well, and quickly we're seeing things turn around a little bit here for E-Dream, as they have gotten a little bit of a foothold for themselves.
Stillness is available now. SubQD looks to be the only one around it. Trig is here. What's he want to do, though? It looks like SubQD probably wants to go over towards that altar node. Oh, Zeromus, we saw that in the rearview mirror there, able to get taken into the downstate by Hazard, and the knockback going to connect. So I don't think Zeromus will be getting back up after that one. The first cap of the game coming out here at 4 minutes into this one for E-Dream.
Yeah, and Hazard going to be able to finish that one off. Bob left to just kind of be by himself, went with the Elite too, so a lot of cooldowns missing for him. SubQD actually getting pretty low here versus Eternity even, and in a couple seconds we will see him actually get his heal back up, so he'll be probably fine. But 2 cap now in favor of E-Dream, coming back a little bit.
We are going to see Bob manage to get away from this little skirmish. Had a couple of guys trailing, and now they're looking to move towards the mid node. As let's take a look at Urantian, who's found himself in a 1v1 with Kenya. Kenya kind of doing what he needs to. He's going to force Urantian out of there, who stealths up, and Kenya just hanging around. Nope. It looks like Urantian wants to go right back into that fight. Taking a look at Bob, though, they're making a push with Zeromus at the mid node in this 2v2. I really feel like Hazard and Eternity should hold on to this by all means. They should not lose this 2v2, as a lot of pressure going down on Hazard here.
Yeah, Hazard getting extremely low right. Oh, actually not at all, as he was able to get that that heal off, and now he's going to be able to return fire onto Bob, who's now getting down to about half HP. Does have those leeches from the Enchanted Daggers left, so he is going to be able to get some of his health back as soon as he comes through. And Eternity is actually doing such a good job of keeping Hazard up right now, and a lot of counter pressure going off on both of these guys. Hazard getting extremely low, though.
So is Eternity. I mean, look at them both. Rebound. Not available anymore. The fear, oh man, takes them both down. Bear is coming to the rescue, gets in through the portal there with the Vapor Form. SubQD coming in though, trying to get the stop. Will he be able to connect? It looks like the Search and Rescue actually came out there from Trig. A portal used to res him. Search and Rescue used to res him as well. So 2 big cooldowns coming out there, using it for E-Dream, and they've lost both nodes now, and potentially looking to be 2-capped here.
Yeah, Eternity actually got his water overload interrupted there by Ozzy, so great sight there from him, able to cancel that one out, and Zeromus now is going to look pretty good in this fight to just kind of stalemate this, as Eternity is just, you know, really kind of working his cooldowns to try to stay alive in this one.
We do have both buffs up in about 30 seconds now. We are going to actually see Bob plus against Trig. Trig had a very nice knockback we actually saw there onto SubQ to be able to get the decap. That's pretty big, because Final Form would be holding onto a 2-cap. Now Trig probably going to fall down. I don't think he's going to be able to remain in this fight for very long. He will be taken out. Stillness, though, going in favor of E-Dream. That's huge, especially when we are going to see the 2-cap come out from Final Form Urantian. Looking for a decap. I don't think Bear's going to be able to match him here, so that Stillness buff will go to waste, but it's right back up now. We are going to see Bob head straight down to the Tranquility buff. Nobody's even close here for E-Dream.
Yeah,
this is terrible.
Form, yeah, Final Form just showing how much experience they have over E-Dream right now with the rotations, and that's really been kind of the story of this game so far, is really just being in the right place at the right time, and Bob showed just that.
There's the 6-cap too.
Oh man.
Oh man, that's not good awareness whatsoever by E-Dream. Hazard almost made it to Bob, wasn't able to. Nobody even contended against SubQD at the top buff. And there's a 4-cap still able to get a decap. Bear was against Urantian there, but still, this is where we see Final Form really take off. Going to get over a 200-point lead here.
Yeah, Urantian now in that 1v1 that I do not really anticipate him winning. But nonetheless, all he has to do is just kind of keep this decap long enough for his team to win the fight across the map there, with Kenya getting so low here. I kind of expect that to happen. Bob just really training him down. As soon as he comes out of this Reaper Shroud, he'll have nothing left. And he does actually get Moa, and they take him down. I'm not really sure if I really like that for sure, because, I mean,
it really wasn't necessary.
Yeah, he was already getting so low at that stage.
But even so, it's just kind of the nail in the coffin there. Zeromus taking down, Eternity. Going to Vapor Form around here. See if Trig can get him back up. Already used Search and Rescue onto his teammate. Got Kenya back up into the mix of things. And Trig looking potentially for a decap over at the temple. We do see Urantian drop to Bear over at the altar. This is the only node that goes in favor of Final Form right now. 110 points away from claiming game number 1 here.
Hazard almost got an accident kill over there on Zeromas, who fell actually from the highest point, took some fall damage, and then took a precision strike to the mouth as well. Just not enough to take him out. Hazard extremely low right now. Zeromas going to try to finish the job in that Reaper Shroud. Actually does manage to do just that. Search and Rescue is going to come out, though, and they're going to try to get him back up, and they are successful in doing so. And it's up to Hazard to now roll on out of here and make sure that he gets away alive so his team, or so he's not a liability to his team.
Still holding on to that one node. Kenya is going to drop down perhaps as well, able to get his heal off. Didn't have any conditions sticking on him, wasn't able to reap the full benefits of that, but nonetheless, it seems to be okay. Has a continuity transfer if he needs it, has full shroud, and he should be okay. Huge Connie bomb, though, coming out right on top of him. He's going to probably fall into the downstate outside of this shroud. I don't think he has a whole lot left. Has Suffer in a second, able to get it off. So much damage coming out from those guys. 100% HP.
As soon as the Suffer was out,
yeah.
I mean, they just loaded him up. Search and Rescue is going to probably get him alive, though, unless Urantian can put down a ton of pressure. They are going for the res once again. A lot of damage on this, but nonetheless, they are going to be able to safely get him back up. Kenya still getting trained out, though. A lot of heals coming out from his teammates, and he is pretty much in the clear at this point, as he is going to be looking to try to put some damage down onto Zeromas. Zeromas returning fire, though, for the time being.
We saw Hazard pick up a decap. SubQT wasn't able to react fast enough with his portal, so Temple node not going in favor of anyone just yet. SubQT wasn't able to land the MOA in Continuum split. Does have it up in about 45 seconds regardless, and should be okay to win this fight. Eternity, though, going to come help him out. We still have Stillness buff in play. Looks like neither team really getting it thus far. It wouldn't be bad for eDream to let Final Form get this, given the fact they don't have a node and they could plus elsewhere. But the fact that Urantian's going to pick up Alter now, this is just not going too great here for eDream's attempt to make a comeback.
Yeah, and they are not looking strong on probably, at least in my opinion, their weakest map. I think they're obviously a lot stronger on the maps that they've played a lot of, and in the amateur tournaments you see a lot more of the Forest and the Legacy, so I expect them to be a little bit stronger on those maps, but for the time being they are still putting up a fight. They do have Bob down right now. Kenya is going to be able to finish that one up. Although the Search and Rescue is going to come out, they do get the fear off, and they need to get more pressure on this body or this res is coming, and they actually do get him back up. Definitely big mess play on their part from not getting that kill, and now they're going to be able to basically just charge forward and maybe take down Kenya.
Well, we saw in the background SubQT able to get the free cap on Stillness and still holding on to that gate. So, Search and Rescue coming out there from Trig, able to get his teammate back up into the mix, but still 2 cap here, given the fact they do have that Stillness from a Final Form, who are looking strong here to take game number 1. I don't see eDream being able to wipe them in the given time they do, especially with the 2 cap. There's the 4 ticks for Final Form, as they will be taking game number 1 in a pretty good fashion. I mean, 502 to 320 or 232. I didn't expect it to be that much of a blowout from Final Form. Game number 2 on the Force of Niflhel. Let's take a look at some opening splits. We've seen a lot of crossers throughout the day. Going to be seeing some more as 4 going to be coming out here for Final Form. Let's head to the beach, check out the action as Final Form is all stealthed up, ready to go. And Bob really not managing to land that Glint Elite. Was in the complete opposite direction. Expected those guys to go a different way, but he's already putting a lot of pressure onto Hazard here.
Yeah, and if he continues this pressure and forces a lot of these cooldowns out of Eternity, then once they get into this team fight where it's going to be Bob and Urantian versus Hazard versus Eternity, it's actually going to be pretty heavily in favor of Final Form, and that's a big deal for them for sure.
Take a look at the mid node where Bear is under a lot of pressure. Look at the Condi's taking on him. SubQT, excellent job. And they should be able to seal the deal onto him. I don't think they're going to be able to get him back up into the mix, especially when Eternity is over at the mine node. So SubQT is able to plus this one, make this a 3v2 in their favor. And look at the mid node. I take everything I said back because of the fact that Bear is back up into this fight.
Yeah, Search and Rescue is certainly going to be his savior. And now Zeromas is the one that's under pressure, especially with that MOA coming out. Although we are seeing Ozzy coming through here, supporting his teammate, getting him back up to about half HP. So great play from him, getting him back into it, getting back into a safe point now, where now Bear, who's going to try to finish the job, he can then just easily go on the offensive, return fire, and get some counter pressure out as well.
It looks like we're going to have that full 5v5 very early on here. in this game as Urantian and company start to make their move towards mid. So Romus needs to be very careful. 16 bleed stacks on him for a moment there. Needed to get those off of him with that consumed conditions. Get himself some health. Hazard under a lot of pressure here in the midst of this fight. Has his Clint heal. We actually have Kenya looking to move out towards that mine node. Urantian on top of his game, making sure nothing happens with the decap there. As this team fight really going to give an early push to the team, and already Bob taken down.
Yeah, and actually a ton of CC out on Kenya as well. And look at the condies on this guy here. As I mean, that's just going to destroy that Reaper Shroud. He's going to have nothing left. Has heal coming off cooldown, but isn't enough as they are going to eliminate him. He's going to be back up on top of the keep, though, as the Search and Rescue is going to get him back up there. And now tons of damage. Yeah, they managed to get the kill off with the stomp coming out from Ozzy. And they're going to be able to secure that one, and they're back. I mean, they're staying in this game, and this is what I was talking about. This is a more straightforward map for them to kind of dig their teeth into, and they're actually showing us that it's a lot better for them. They have certainly a shot at this point, despite the fact that they did just lose 2 people.
That was a very good MOA coming out there from SubQT on the correct person. Needed to get that on Trig, eliminated him, got him off the map. Now they need to get that cap and I like this push from Bob to plus them, get on top of Bear, try and stagger their respawns right now, because if they're able to take down Bear, they're really not able to accomplish much around the map, because they will be down a man, and Final Form will 100% take advantage of that.
Yeah, so far. Okay, so we do have Trig coming off of respawn, a little bit of miscommunication as far as where he's supposed to go, as he's going to be turning back around and just kind of looking for somewhere at beach where it looks like he might actually enter a 1v1 with Urantian. Actually, instead, we're going to be seeing him going back over towards the midpoint, because we did see a portal actually just now with Hazard and Bear coming through to try to take down Urantian and perhaps get a decap on this point, because right now it's neck and neck, 90 to 90 here at 11 minutes and 40 seconds into this game, and it's really kind of anyone's game, though we did just see Bear get the decap, going for the full cap right now as Hazard is just chasing down Urantian completely.
It's a pretty good move from Urantian to get out of there, knowing he can't hold on very long there. Didn't want to lose, die there. Give him 5 points and give him the advantage around the map. That's what they just did the other, a minute ago with eDream losing 2 members. And eDream now taking a 2 cap for themselves. Final Form kind of feels like they're unsure of what they want to do. They look to make a push towards their own home node, but didn't do anything with it. Now Bear picking up a decap at the keep. This is terrible for Final Form.
Yeah, and
who
Bob
looked
taking
really
out
good
as well there. So they're going to be playing 5v4 here at a huge team fight, and this is such great positioning for eDream now, as this is going to be an easy 5v4 for them to potentially take, although Trig is going to be pulling back because I mean, I don't really know if I like that.
That was early. I think that was way too early.
Yeah, definitely far too early at that point.
But regardless, it looks like Bob's not even going to go towards that home node. We do have that continuum split coming out there. I believe that was from SubQT. Yes, it was. Wasn't able to do a whole lot with it. They are able to take down Bear. That would be a very good pickup indeed. And Ozzy looking to do what he can now. SubQT's under a lot of pressure from Hazard. Needs to make his way back here. Eternity picks Bear back up. Are going to see a decap over at the Henge node. But Final Form is definitely outmanned here at the mid node, being 5v4.
Yeah, the interesting thing, though, is that, I mean, eDream was set up in such a good position to just easily get that 5v4 and just kind of stampede from there, get it. I mean, that would have been perfect for them. And even if they had to pull someone off at some point, they really should have played the numbers game at that stage, but instead Trig pulled off a little bit prematurely, at least in my opinion, and that's why they're kind of suffering right now, where they're going to have to battle back to get back into the position where they were just in.
And we'll see a 2 cap from Final Form, because SubQT was able to get out of that fight. This is the impact of Mesmers. We didn't have a portal available for his team to get out, but his team seems to be okay. Ozzy might be the only guy who's caught out. He does have a couple of cutdowns. He has his heal up in a moment here. Doesn't have his invul, doesn't have his reflect here. He should be okay to get his heal off. Just wasting a lot of cooldowns to do so. I don't feel like his team should have left him kind of stranded there, but a huge fight about Team Merge here over at the Henge node.
Trig right now taking a lot of pressure here as the rest of Final Form just kind of trying to take him out, but Bob now getting down to about 20% HP, doesn't have any heals for himself, is in block. Ozzy going to be able to probably get that water off, although Bob just walked away from it. So now he's back at 25% HP, doesn't have anything left here, is going to have that Herald heal though, so he is going to probably be safe now.
Didn't even need to use it for that matter.
Man.
His team was able to keep him alive. Meanwhile, Bear was taken down by SubQT in a 1v1. SubQT Moas Trig, who went in for the res onto him. What a play coming out there from SubQT, who will be able to pick up a kill onto Bear and look to then just 1v1 Trig and single-handedly, kind of carry his team on that side of the map.
Yeah, definitely keeping them in the game right now. No one's going to be able to really kind of contend with Trig, who's probably going to be able to get that that decap and maybe even a full cap if no one ever makes the move over towards that mine right now, and that's going to be the case. But SupQT is just going to go ahead and just trade it. They want to keep that keep right now, so this is definitely a good place for them to be in. Just hold the left side and just keep taking kills like the one on Hazard that they might get.
Why is Hazard going back into this fight? Kenya was just eliminated over there. Hazard's going in blind, has nobody even around. Eternity was at the mid node. He doesn't even have his support there. He's going to be taken down. I don't think that Eternity is able to get him back up. Kenya off respawn goes out the side gate. They know this is a lost fight. They got to regroup. They can't be off doing their own thing here. And now Bear's taken down. This is brutal for E-Dream, who looked so strong just a couple of minutes ago.
Just got absolutely murdered there by SupQT. A big thing about fighting that Mesmer in a 1v1 is you basically just have to give away the point. You just have to let them have it so that you can try to basically just kind of get them to use a lot of the cooldowns, make sure that they're blowing some of their burst prematurely, dodge a lot of it, try to stay away, and then kind of come in for some bursts. And that's how you want to play it. But staying on the point, especially as a druid, and just kind of waltzing around as SupQT bursts you definitely don't want to be in that situation, and that's why he died so quickly there.
I do like that move from Trig, getting a decap over the mine point. Can't allow them to hold on to that 3-cap for too long. They already know they're going to kill Urantian over at the hand. Urantian didn't leave this one. He left the 1v2 earlier at the mine. Wanted to, hold on to that 3-cap as long as he could. Now blue team's in a lot of pressure at the mid node. They're going to get both side nodes here more than likely, so it's a good thing to get out of this fight. I think that Kenya wasn't, there's no way Kenya was going to be able to get out of that one alive. So they just kind of split to the sides, but I think Hazard went the wrong way there. He needed to keep his eyes on where the red team was going, and now he's kind of caught in a bad position.
Yeah, with Kenya, Kenya's been getting murdered all game, it seems, at this stage, and looks like he's going to be coming out towards the beach, and they're going to be pushing him far. But I don't know about this right now. They do have two supports over on this far node right now with Eternity and Trig, but Trig is just getting jumped on all over the place. I mean, look at all the damage coming out onto him, and he's going to be probably stomped out here by SupQT, and that is going to be the case. And they're going to get the decap as well, so now Kenya is going to be forced to go back over towards that midpoint, and they're not even looking that solid on the midpoint either. So, I mean, for the most part, Final Form is looking like they're kind of ready to take this one, although Bob was just taken out, search and rescue again. I mean, big plays.
The stop, though, is going to connect there. E-Dream not giving up just yet. We've got under 6 minutes remaining. They're down under 100 points. They can still get something going here. If they're able to clean up this mid-fight, Bob is out of it. Trig, off of respawn, once again decides to go for that far node. He knows that there's a respawn there. He should be able to pick up a decap. E-Dream, this is kind of their last-ditch effort to get this game back in their favor.
Zeromus right now looks like he's taking a little bit of pressure, but it's SupQT over on the mine node actually versus Trig. It looks like this is going a little bit better for Trig this time, as he did actually manage to get him down a little bit farther. Although again, versus that Condi Mesmer, it's such a hard matchup for sure. I mean, a lot of condition pressure, has CCs for kind of controlling the fight. It's one of those situations where it's hard to take that fight, especially as a druid there.
And blue team was forced out of the mid node, and 75 points away from a victory. Can Final Form seal the deal? SupQT taking a little bit of damage. Bear is under so much pressure, so is Trig. Gets his heal off, but Bear might fall down. Doesn't have much left himself. He's taken down. Trig doesn't have a whole lot to deal with these Condis. Has Celestial Avatar in his second now. Under 1,000 health, he will be taken down as well. And Kenya probably going to be following up into the downstate once he's out of the Shroud. The Moa not landing from SupQT, though. I believe a dodge actually came out there from Kenya. He's going to be taken down. Did he leave Shroud, I think? I don't really know what he was hoping to do there. Maybe he had got Moa. It was a delayed Moa? I don't think so. But he did leave Shroud. And Final Form looks to be coming out on top and start out their season on the right note.
Yeah, I mean, they, in my opinion, with this game have solidified themselves certainly as a top 4 team. Now it's up to them to go up against teams like Never Lucky and go up against teams like PZ to make sure that they can prove themselves as something potentially more than that.
Still a lot of good action to come. We will be back next week at the same time. So thank you guys for joining us. Congratulations to the teams, and we'll see you next time.
And shout out to the producer, who's his birthday. Everybody shout out to Alex there.
Shout out to Alex. All right, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time.